Welcome back to science. We are continuing to study Desert Rocks National Park and what its environment used to be in the past. We know that now it's a desert, but a long time ago it used to be underwater. We know that it used to be underwater because we found a fossil. We know that fossils are found in sedimentary rock, and we know that sedimentary rock can only form when sediment builds up in water and is covered with more sediment. But how can an environment change so drastically over time? How can something go from an ocean to a desert? We're going to use our simulation to help us today. And as we're investigating these sedimentary rock layers today, we're going to pay attention to the sediment and the rock layers. These are our observations, and we're going to use that information to infer what type of environment that place used to be. So in our sim, we're going to load mode 2. We're going to move the sea level up and down, and then we're going to observe what happens. So we'll load mode 2. Yes. And we're going to move the sea level up and down. First, we'll notice that we have a beach, a shallow ocean, and a deep ocean. The sea level right now is high. Let's change that to medium. Oh, I'm seeing that in the same place, a different amount of water can create a different environment. Now this is a floodplain, not a beach. This is a beach, not a shallow ocean. And this went from a deep ocean to a shallow ocean. Let's change it one more time to low. And again, the same places changed environments when the sea level changed. Now we have an upper river, a floodplain, and a beach. Now, the next thing we're going to do is look at just location 2 or 3. We're going to do two things. One, we're going to try to make a very thick rock layer with all the same kind of rock. And two, we're going to try to make as many different layers of rock as we can in the same location. All right, so I'm going to put the sea level back where it was. I'm just going to focus on location 3, the deep ocean. So first I'm trying to make them all the same type of rock layer. So right now it looks like the sediment that's falling matches the rock layer that's on the bottom. So I think if I just keep the sea level the same and keep moving time forward, it's all going to be the same rock layer. Okay, and we'll try one more time. Okay, so if the sea level doesn't change, that means the environment doesn't change, which means the rock layer doesn't change. Now, let me reset. And this time, I'm going to try to have as many different layers or stripes as possible. And I think I can do that by changing the sea level, because that's going to then change the environment, which will then change the type of rock. So let's move this to medium. See if we can get a different stripe on there. Oh, perfect. So we had one type of rock at the bottom, another type now on top. Let's change it again. Perfect. And I can even change the sea level back to medium to get yet another stripe on there. Okay, so the way that we can get different rock layers, or when we see different rock layers, we know that that's because the environment changed. So we learned two very important things just now. One, environments can change when the sea levels change. And two, different environments cause different types of sedimentary rock layers to form. Now, this is a book that you guys read in last week's lesson, but I just want to remind you of a few things, because remember, today we're observing the sediment and rock layers and inferring what environment that place used to be. So right now, this place in Canada is a mountain range, but because we found shale there, we can infer that this mountain range actually used to be underwater, because shale forms when sediment collects in slow-moving water. The sediment compacts and cements over time, turning to rock. So today it's a mountain range, but because of this rock layer, we know, or we can infer, that it used to be underwater. Now, we've studied many different types of rock in our unit so far, but we haven't studied all of them. So you're going to go back to the ones that we haven't looked at yet, and your job is to research those today. For example, we know that when we observe a conglomerate rock, we can infer that that place used to be a river. When we observe sandstone, we can infer that that used to be a river, beach, lake, or shallow ocean. But your job is to research the other rocks today, and you're going to do that by using the Fossil Hunter's Handbook. You're going to read slides 16 through 20, which are pages 32 through 40, and you're going to research what type of environment could each rock have formed in. When you're finished, you're going to take the Google quiz and turn it in when you are finished. Good luck and happy working.